watching KCOY Channel 12. And now 12 News Weekend.
When it comes to making sure that we get this survivor back to the shore alive. And we are beyond the flying range of our helicopters.
Paratroopers set out to rescue an 82-year-old sailor lost at sea and in and out of consciousness for days. Good evening. It's an incredible story of survival that is coming to a close on Central Coast shores. The Coast Guard is bringing back 82-year-old Kirk Lightbourne to Morro Bay this evening. He set sail from San Diego to Hawaii nearly 2 weeks ago, but a storm sent him overboard and fishermen found him. Now the Air National Guard set out earlier this week to bring him home. San Francisco reporter Robert Honda joined the rescuers.
The scramble starts right away. The 129th Rescue Squadron had to assemble a team of parachute jumpers as well as emergency medical supplies. The target, an 82-year-old man stranded on his sailboat 900 miles offshore.
Here's Los Angeles, San Diego's down here. It's just off of Baja out here. I understand he transferred from the sailboat to a fishing vessel.
He's still on the sailboat.
Still on the sailboat, and he's dead in the water.
In less than half an hour, the C-130 rescue plane is on its way, traveling at about 280 knots or around 355 miles per hour. Still, it will take 3.5 hours to get there. A report comes in. The stranded boater had lost consciousness, so the decision is made. Both parajumpers and cargo will be deployed.
I want to make sure everybody has releases on their chest strap and their belly band so you can get out of that thing as soon as you hit. Everybody have a UDT vest on or some kind of flotation.
The sailboat and the fishing boat are spotted. Then it's time.
First jumper away. 2, 3. 4 jumpers away. Okay, radio, let them know that we got jumpers in the air. Let the Coast Guard know.
The jump is successful. One parajumper lands within yards of the boat, but time and sunlight are getting low. The medical supplies and survival equipment still need to be dropped, and there is wind, strong waves, and darkness to contend with. Lights are fixed to the cargo just in case. At this point, the key is not radar equipment, it's the eyes of Loadmaster Ken Huntley. The drops are on target, and the team makes it to the victim. After 2 hours of treatment, the man's condition is stabilized enough to move him. Now it's completely dark, but that's okay. The mission is a success.
At Moffett Field, Robert Honda, CBS News.
Of an adventurous sailor from Scottsdale lost at sea for 6 days.
This is Arizona 5 News at 6.
An amazing story becomes even more amazing. Good evening, I'm Karen Carnes.
And I'm Jay Allen. The first pictures are in of the rescue of a valley man on the high seas. An 82-year-old Scottsdale man spent 7 days drifting unconscious on the Pacific. Arizona 5's Kim Krigston has the story of his dramatic rescue.
He had a very strong will to survive. I'll tell you, you talk about real heroes, it starts with Kirk himself.
He didn't want to become a hero. 82-year-old Kirk Lightbourne, San Diego to Hawaii, but he was hit in the head by a boom and spent 7 days drifting along the chilly Pacific Ocean unconscious till this dramatic rescue.
He was totally exhausted, and without food, water, he couldn't care for himself, so if we had not gotten there, it would have just been a matter of time.
Lightbourne's son and daughter watched the rescue, not surprised by their father's perseverance.
He's a great skipper, and he's in good health, and he had an incident that was unfortunate, but I'm sure when he recovers, he'll be thinking about how he can get back out there and do it again.
Lightbourne may be able to sail sooner than you'd expect. Besides being tired and dehydrated, doctors say he's going to be okay.
A lot of people figure a guy that's 83 years old is all done, but he's not all done. He's a pretty peppy guy yet.
The 27-foot ship is still drifting hundreds of miles off the California coast.
Overboard, he had to pull himself up. He's totally exhausted, and without food, water, he couldn't care for himself. So if we had not gotten there, it would have just been a matter of time, and it's hard to make those calls. He had a very strong will to survive.
Rescuers get a sailor from Arizona back to shore safely tonight after he spent 7 days hurt at sea. Good evening. It's an amazing story of a rescue that began early this week. An 82-year-old man sets out on a solo trip from San Diego to Hawaii and encounters rough seas. The Coast Guard cutter at Morro Bay brought him back ashore tonight after a tough voyage.
He encountered some heavy seas in late November. Apparently got hit in the head with the boom, knocked overboard, swam back on board the boat, and was able to turn on his electronic positioning beacon, which notified the Coast Guard of his position and his nature or his distress.
But he was 900 miles offshore, so pararescuemen flew in supplies and paramedics dropped from a C-130 to stabilize the man.
He was in just a state of dehydration and lack of nutrition because he'd probably been out there for about 5 days before we got to him.
The Coast Guard cutter met the rescue boat Friday afternoon and headed back for Morro Bay. Lightbourne's son and daughter were waiting at the harbor when their dad came in. Despite the scare, Lightbourne's son says he'll be back on the water as soon as he's well.
He's a great skipper and he's in good health, and he had an incident that was unfortunate, but I'm sure when he recovers, he'll be thinking about how he can get back out there and do it again.
Lightbourne is at Sierra Vista Hospital tonight. He's in stable condition. He is expected to stay there for treatment for several days, though.